yara nyilla domoro kadiyata
boy janno CK's restaurant
sa nakko be ninna dimbale nimba domoro kala janno
domoro seneyata adiyata topotoro fanan kendema bije luntan during tamala abeka domoro ki janni adi manda wala de teka we bijele anim fanan ka fadi jang ikono e fa e ka fa minne ko pastry anim bakery iko fanan be kalele badde lomba conference lomba workshop lomba ye fo pendin lo dunya kono domoro betama nyillom international o toda number 1
amanke ba domola jandama
e sa domo jang is atariya
wo mu kubandi
sa nakko sa futandin
oto sa nakko be mu CK's restaurant
ndabana janna mu yat ni manje dorom bijam
aban
CK's restaurant, known for best quality food and customer satisfaction.
diwli lanni maaro lanni
fop lanni
awa joni mi anda honno gerdeten e ngal ɗo sabu e ngal ɗo Ibrahima jonnal taw joni mi anda se yahay kapitiki ñawloyoɗen ha humpodire e makko est ce que on noon e warude
waɗen noon awa
ane kore Ibrahima ma ko to woni
mo Amérique
ko Amérique a woni kede humpitaki fiɓe musidɓe men baluwo
baluwo
ɓe andanɗa kala ko wawɗa wonde e aduna o si a rewi e juuɗe maɓɓe a jonnay ɗo dépassement o Gambia hara no weeɓi a yahata kadi taw ko mbuɗi ɗi no ƴawi walla no jippi ɓe haalantama ko kala ko falɗa ko sengo ñamete ini nebba maaro basal pomme de terre kala ko rewi ɗon a hendoto hara no weeɓi kadi wona ɗum ɗon tu ɓe jonnira e mobile phone siko ɗum kadi laptop kala ko wayrode ɗiɓe hay kaspawa ɓe wawma jonnude kadi sa fala humpitade ko weeɓi ƴettu Google account ma joni data ton waɗa download app maɓɓe on ayiyay kala ko humpima e maɓɓe ton ɓe weeɓi hama
ka wonɗa wo e aduna on
kala ko wawɗa
a jonnanayi wonɗo ka leydi men Gambia ɗo dépense
hara no weeɓi hama si ɗum non fof no neeɓi immoɗen joni mi ɗowtama ka place maɓɓe janno
waɗen joni
iya heɓa ko falaɗa
waɗen kisam.
When we touch down, better broke down.
Gamtel G Fiber, now you can enjoy super fast internet in gigabytes.
The meeting grounds, please can you all warmly welcome him. This way, Your Excellency. Here. Please sit down. Again, good morning and welcome to the 24th anniversary commemoration of the United Democratic Party. As it is our custom in the Gambia, before we start any of our proceedings, we invoke the name of the Almighty God and seek prayer and solace from His beneficent mercies. Before starting the prayers, the party leader has instructed me to recognize a few amongst many prominent Gambians who in the last 6 weeks or so have answered the ultimate call. We are naming them today in remembrance and in prayer to Almighty Allah that their souls be granted the highest heavens. Most Gambians were greeted with the sad news of the demise of Alhaji Aliu Mboj, an exemplary public servant from the First Republic until Allah took him away from us. He has served this country well. He has been a great Gambian. Just a few days ago, the Deputy Imam Ratib of Banjul, of the capital city, Alhaji Tafsir Gay, also answered the ultimate call. Our own Langjanke Jaite, advisor to all Badibu, also answered the call. So has Sirif Mohammed Mbai, who has also answered the call. Our Auntie Lucrecia Diba, mother of Oli Diba Wada, also very recently answered the call. Modu Sise, formerly of the Central Bank of the Gambia, also a distinguished civil servant who has served this country well. There are just too many illustrious sons and daughters of the Gambia who have passed on in these last 6 to 8 weeks. We want everybody to remember that they have served their country and they pass on with very positive ambitions for our nation. And we would want to remember them on this very special day of our party. So may I ask all of us to stand and rise and observe 1 minute silence, and then we do the traditional Salatul Fatiha as prayers for the deceased, as well as prayers for our great party on this very special day. Thank you very much. Let's continue in prayer. I'll ask Alhaji KKB Barrow, the majority leader of the National Assembly, to lead us in prayer, in Muslim prayer. I'll now ask Sister Mary to lead us in Christian prayer. Amen. Thank you very much, Alhaji KKB Barrow. Thank you very much, Sister Mary Jones. You may all be seated now, ladies and gentlemen. Anniversaries are always bittersweet. because last year when we were celebrating this anniversary, the father of our nation was still alive and with us, even though a little bit frail. So today we are celebrating this anniversary with a heavy heart. The father of the nation passed away on the 28th of August, 2019. So we remember him in our prayers. We remember all the dearly departed citizens of this country. We remember all our comrades who have not lived to see this 24th anniversary of the party. Again, anniversaries are important and we have to mark them because they serve as a reminder of where we have been and where we need to be as a people, as a nation. Anniversaries are necessary because they are also occasions for thanksgiving for the life of the illustrious sons and daughters of this country who have, over the years, struggled against dictatorship, have tried everything, put their life, their properties, their comforts, and their conveniences in the service of the nation. So we say thank you to Allah Almighty. We say thank you to all Gambians who have kept faith with the United Democratic Party. We say thank you also to those who have given their lives ultimately so that this country will grow to be a democratic and representative country. August for the United Democratic Party is a very auspicious month because our party was born in this month. Our party leader was born in this month. The father of the nation answered the ultimate call in this month. So for us, August cannot come and go without marking the significance and the symbolism that this month has in the life of the Gambia. Of course, this is a socially distant event. All of us are wearing masks so that we can flatten the curve against coronavirus. This is a very anxious time for the Gambia and for the whole world. We are looking for hope and inspiration from ourselves. We are praying and invoking the mercies and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that this scourge of the COVID pandemic is eradicated from our world. That is why this year is very special. There wouldn't be a lot of speeches or celebrations, but I think it is entirely appropriate to look at the birth statement of the United Democratic Party. And I'm very grateful to my brother and compatriot, Mr. Joey Goswell, who is resident in the UK, my learned senior. He has posted the press statement of our party leader on 23rd August 1996. This was carried by the Foroyaa newspaper of that day. And I think on a day of symbolism, on a day of remembrance, on a day of thanksgiving, we cannot forget to recognize that our party was founded on the holiest day of the Muslim calendar. Our celebration of the 24th anniversary is on the holiday of the Christian calendar. So Friday and Sunday are very significant Gambian days, and they are very significant to the United Democratic Party. I will only read a part of that press conference to tell those of us who are assembled here and who were not there in 1996, what was the vision of Alhaji Ousainou Darboe, what was Lawyer Darboe's vision for the Gambia in 1996. This is what the computer does to you sometimes. All right. I quote, the recent ban by the AFPRC government on certain political parties and persons has introduced a grave and serious dimension to the body politic of our country. Until the introduction of the ban, the nation was relatively happy with the progress towards the return to democratic civilian rule. Following this ban, and desirous of sustaining multi-party democracy in the Gambia, a large number of concerned Gambians from all over the country have agreed to form and register a new political party in the interest of democracy, freedom of choice, and association of their motherland. The party pledges to uphold and defend collectively and singularly the common good, freedom, justice, and equality for all, irrespective of gender, race, religious, or political affiliation as enshrined in the Constitution. In this regard, the rule of law, tolerance, democracy, and political pluralism will be the cornerstone of the party. I repeat, in this regard, the rule of law, tolerance, democracy, and political pluralism will be the cornerstone of the party. To achieve this objective, the new political party will field candidates for all elections in the Gambia, namely presidential, parliamentary, and municipal elections. In light of the foregoing, we appeal to all Gambians to give us their unequivocal support in our struggle to restore true democracy to our country. We hope and pray to Allah the Almighty to guide and protect us in our quest for the advancement of peace, stability, and prosperity in the Gambia. It is our firm commitment and conviction to work indefatigably for the transformation of this country, the Gambia, into a haven of peace and tranquility equal to none in the world. During this press conference, end of quote, during this press conference, the party leader made it absolutely clear where we were heading and what we need to do, hence our name. We needed to present a united front for democracy. So we are the United Democratic Party. Our party in the last 24 years, 22 of which has paid with blood, tears, and incalculable sacrifices. Sons and daughters of this party have been assassinated, have been tortured, have been incarcerated, simply because they wanted democracy to come and flourish again in the Gambia. I can see Alhaji Kemeseng Jambe, His Excellency, the former ambassador to Turkey. I can see the deputy party leader, Ajaratu Yamseka. I can see the acting national president. These people were there on day one. But many of their compatriots, many of their comrades have fallen and they have not been blessed to see this day. So in these last 24 years, what the party has been trying to do for our nation is to provide service on questioning, on demanding service. It's a leadership of service, it's a leadership of vision, and we have all seen Alhaji Usainu Dabo was vice president. He was living at Kairaba Avenue, a property he owned in the 80s, and Kotu. So his sacrifice, the sacrifice of the leadership of this movement, is not for prestige or for purpose. It's a leadership of serving your fellow countrymen. And because of all of this, like I said, today is not a day for speeches and thanksgivings. It's only for thanksgivings. We will have only one main statement from the party leader on this auspicious day to mark it in remembrance, in celebration of the great lives that have graced this party. But the most significant aspect of today is the signing of the Founders' Day Declaration with the subtitle Plante Neto. And as you can see, we have some fruit trees of the Gambia, native trees of the Gambia, around the room. We are hoping that some of our leaders will symbolically plant some of them, and they would grow around the Manjai Bureau of KMC. So really, we are not going to stand on ceremony. We believe that this declaration is timely, especially in a time when you have COVID-19 ravaging not only the health sector, but also affecting our economy in a very significant way. We look back to our great history of struggle, but we should be able to look forward also to an economic renaissance and transformation that these last 24 years has been a struggle to achieve. So the program, as you just heard, is only to hear the Secretary General and the party leader to say a few words really about the significance of this day, and then to sign the declaration establishing the pledge to do as much as we can to grow our own food, to grow the fruit trees of this country to a level where people can find livelihoods, people can find sustenance from this. So without any further ado, I will urge all of you to put your hands together and welcome the Secretary General and Party Leader of the United Democratic Party, Lawyer Usainu Dabo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tal. And let me say that yesterday night, my colleague, Lewis Goswell, called me from UK and said, "Lu akuidewa, amna dara, namako geni ki bottom box." That is to say, he has something which is of great treasure, of great value for the UDP and indeed for the Gambia. He refused to disclose to me what was in the bottom box. Indeed, if he did reveal it to me, I think that would have been my statement today and would not have added anything to that. We are very grateful to those who keep records of the United Democratic Party so that when the time comes to write the history of the Gambia, this information will be easily available, readily available. And I also want to thank you, Mr. Tal, for remembering some of our compatriots who have been of service to this nation. In fact, I think about 3 days ago, we lost another great man, a great statue of the United Democratic Party in the person of Mankamanture in Gunjur. And we continue to pray for him and all others. Having said that, let me say good afternoon to you, the Deputy Party Leader and Deputy Secretary General, the Acting National President of the party, the Majority Leader, and all of you who are present here, and good afternoon to all our supporters, to all our members spread around the Gambia, to all those in every country of Africa, and to those in Europe. And good evening to those of our supporters and members who are in the Far East. And good morning to all those in the United States of America and the Americas. Today marks the 24th anniversary of the founding of our great party, the United Democratic Party. Unlike previous years, when we would gather in crowds of comrades to celebrate and reflect on the enduring journey we have embarked on to build a Gambia that is as good as the diverse people that constitute it. The challenges of a ravaging pandemic requires that this year we commemorate the founding of the party differently. I want to begin by acknowledging the valiant efforts of our frontline health workers who, at great risk to their personal well-being and with very little resources available to them, are exerting tremendous effort to keep all of us safe. It is a matter of grave concern. We continue to see sharp increases in the rates of infections, as well as hospitalization and fatalities. I call on every citizen and residents of the country to recognize the present scope and serious consequences of this deadly pandemic and strictly follow the prescribed guidelines issued by our health professionals at all times. Compliance with rules and regulations that interfere with normal routines of life is not an easy proposition, but the alternative scenario of flouting professional advice designed to curtail a highly contagious pandemic, either through denial of its existence or opting to dispense with the inconvenience and difficulties associated with compliance, would only make the situation worse for all of us. A situation that risks lives demands unprecedented sacrifices from every individual. And I am urging all of us to choose the difficult but necessary route of compliance, endurance, and inconvenience. But that does not absolve our government of its core responsibilities to help the citizens face and cope with this deadly pandemic. At the leadership and strategic level, the government has failed miserably to plan and execute an effective and comprehensive approach to this deadly disease. It wasted time and resources on bureaucratic half measures that has taken much needed resources from hospitals, patients, equipment, and frontline workers. The recently announced decision of designating the Serakunda Hospital as an exclusive COVID-19 treatment center risks jeopardizing access to health care for a large number of patients that rely on this facility for the treatment of non-COVID illnesses at a time when our already overstretched health facilities have difficulties coping with their existing patient loads. The net result would be denial of easy access to medical care for treatment of other illnesses. A better alternative would be to release to the Minister of Health the big air-conditioned tents that Yaya Jammeh purchased from funds currently sitting on State House grounds and position them at suitable locations, properly equipped to be used as a treatment center for COVID-19 patients. It can accommodate a large number of patients and their caregivers with some augmentation of materials and other resources. This will allow our limited health facilities to use a cross-section of patients battling non-COVID serious illnesses, as the identified COVID cases are referred to the designated treatment centers. It is sad that during this pandemic, far too many of our citizens, especially the poor and the vulnerable, have been left to wither in the vines without even the token food supplies purchased from COVID-19 funds reaching them, the deserving beneficiaries. We must all demand better of our government to uphold their primary duty to the citizens and step up by bringing in independent experts from a large pool of our talented citizens to manage and better organize our approach to this deadly disease. To help our experts better manage this pandemic, I implore each and every one of us present ourselves for voluntary COVID-19 tests in order to determine our status. I have submitted myself to the test, and thanks to Allah the Almighty, I have tested negative. We should all do the same. Today, as we commemorate 24 years of the party's existence, I pay homage to the men and women, young and old, spread across the length and breadth of our beloved Gambia, and to our compatriots across all continents of the world. I am especially pleased with the sheer number and diversity of very talented and experienced professionals who have joined our ranks over the years. These are among the best in our country, and their membership of and support for UDP give me great hope about the future of your party and the country to which we are all committed. I extend my profound gratitude to our vigorous and hard-working chapters spread across the globe for their dedication, superb organizational skills, and laser-beam focus on what is best for Gambia. UDP diaspora is and has been essential to the history and future of our party. On this special occasion of our anniversary, I take great pride to introduce and launch the newest unit within our party, the UDP Student Wing. This dedicated, energetic, intelligent group of youths in the University of the Gambia and other tertiary institutions inspire great confidence in their commitment to democracy and the role they are carving out for themselves in this pursuit. They are fully engaged in the entire country with focal persons in every community. This unit is the disciple that preaches UDP's values to their peers, exchange ideas with them, and encouraging each other to be agents of change in diverse ways. They are leading voluntary efforts in helping spread awareness regarding the pandemic, spearheading our face mask distribution efforts, and working with others to help the needy. These youths have heartily adopted the ethos and selfless commitment of those who preceded them in the persons of comrades like Solo, Shingul, Lamarong, Femi, Solo Koroma, Kanyiba, Sajo Kunjang, Kunda Kamara, Papa Ture, Ibrahima Janko Sise, and Antasamba, and many others no longer with us. The support, encouragement, hard work, and dedication of our entire membership over the years is what has helped sustain the resilience of this party despite all the efforts violence, and torture dedicated to our party and people. With all these, UD members and supporters of UDP have endured with courage and dignity. You partnered with like-minded citizens to continue to write the history of our nation. I want us to continue that tradition, forged in the belief of the moral rectitude of our cause. I wish to reiterate my repeated counsel to UDP members, supporters, and friends, and that is to respectfully engage, seek the support of, and dialogue with every Gambian with utmost humility and decorum. Our task and objective is to persuade our fellow citizens about the efficacy of our ideas regarding our shared goals of making Gambia better for all. Whilst I am confident that we are not bereft of good ideas, and indeed of the best of ideas, we do not claim or pretend to have a monopoly on good ideas, and therefore we must all be willing to listen to ideas different from ours with the hope of becoming and building consensus. We must all refrain at all costs from the politics of bitterness, insults, and polarization. Let us reflect on the sacrifices of our heroes who are no longer with us, but their enduring legacy of commitment to ideas above and beyond their personal needs remain in our hearts and that of a grateful nation. The journey to defeating a vicious tyrant in 2016 was the culmination of 22 years of efforts, prayers, hard work, blood, tears, exile, disappearances, imprisonment, torture, and economic ruin of several people. Our people fought in all these categories as part of a necessary battle, selflessly, courageously, and with passion, not in the quest for what they can get for themselves or their families. They were driven by love for country and the firm belief that Gambia deserved a democracy and a government that was as good as its people. Those who wish to peddle the counterfactual history that the victory of democracy over tyranny in 2016 was a 3-month transaction led by an unknown lion killer, fool no one with their delusions but themselves. Our collective freedom was delivered in 2016 by those who never gave up on the promise of democracy as an instrument for change, and especially on the capacity and experience of ordinary Gambians in the utilization of peaceful change. Those are the people who would stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning to receive a UDP delegation in their villages, or like-minded citizens in the diaspora, working across party lines and with unaffiliated independents to support a united front to flush out a tyrant. They gave money, voice, and delivered political capital here at home through family and community interventions to defeat a tyrant and restore democracy. I will conclude with a note of gratitude to all who share our ideals for a better Gambia. UDP is more than a party to the faithfuls. It is an idea etched into our hearts and founded on the principles of sacrifice, fidelity to the rule of law, and firm commitment to honest and transparent leadership. I invite all Gambians to join us in this enduring journey to make our country better, seek and bring out the best ideas from our best brains wherever they may be to address our challenges and expand our opportunities. I pray to Allah to see us through these difficult times, heal the sick, and protect the healthy. We pray for next year to find us in better circumstances and for the country to have an opportunity to seek a different and better direction. Thank you all, and always follow the guidelines of the Minister of Health and WHO so that together we can contain and beat back what has appropriately been described as the beast. Happy anniversary. Long live the Republic of the Gambia, and long live United Democratic Party.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Secretary General and Party Leader, for that really inspiring speech. And I'm sure the media notices the focus and the emphasis on the current pandemic and the need to follow the signs, to follow the advice of professionals, to understand that this disease poses an existential threat for our nation. The party leader also made a roll call of party stalwarts who have answered the ultimate call. So we thank you very much. Lawyer Dabo is the only politician who has his profession attached to his name. Everywhere you go in the Gambia, they call him Lawyer Dabo. And the great Jaliba has a very wonderful song for him, Gambia Lawyer Ba Usainu Dabo. We are grateful for your service to your nation. We are grateful for your leadership of purpose, your leadership of integrity, your leadership of extraordinary competence. May Allah keep you before us for many, many, many years to come when we celebrate the Golden Jubilee of the United Democratic Party. Allah can do this, and may He do it in the name of the Prophet of mankind, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, today is not a day for speeches. We've got our message, we've got our marching order from our party leader. I see the former finance minister, Alhaji Amadou Sane, sitting quietly, gently, as he always does. The transformation that he was trying to bring to our fiscal space did not complete. But in 2021, inshallah, we will continue the work that we have been doing. We recognize his sacrifice, his presence, and like all our leaders, the majority leader, His Excellency Kemes Njame, National Acting President Auntie Mary, the Deputy Party Leader Auntie Seka, for all these years of service and work to the nation. We recognize also the Gambian diaspora and our colleagues and brothers and sisters from the other political parties for years of trying to serve our country and take it to a better place. The next item on our agenda is the official and formal signing of the Founders' Day Declaration, or Plante Neto. Symbolically, the party leader will sign 24 to mark the 24th birthday anniversary. We see that GRTS is in the media here, and all the other media houses that are here. The party will give each of your media houses a Neto as a symbol of goodwill. We have some seedlings around that you can also take care of in your places of work, and it would be a reminder of the bond between the United Democratic Party and the people who are also struggling with us, because the media was a big support to the United Democratic Party in the 22 years of dictatorship that we have here. So as a symbol also, we will give out some of these seedlings. This is a very ambitious project, and we know that political movements, political parties are fond of promising people. And when the time to redeem that promise comes, they will tell you another story. We just want to make the record absolutely clear that we are committed as a movement, as a people's movement, to changing our economy, to changing our politics for the better, to making sure that promises made are promises kept. And as an act of goodwill, we want this declaration to be considered as one of our statement of purpose to our entire nation, to the future generations that are coming, and we will redeem this pledge in entirety. We will redeem it in full, and by 2023, we will show evidence that these are the 2 million trees that we have promised the Gambian people. And if you go to Mansajankunda in Basse, if you go to Mari Bantang in Dankunku, you will find these trees there. Yes, we said plant a neto because we believe that our native trees and our food culture should be very clear to all Gambians. Everybody who likes Mbahal or Domoda or Super knows that you need a little bit of nature too in your food. And a lot of Gambians are growing up without a direct connection to the forest cover and the huge benefit this forest cover has for our nation. So this is some of the reasons why we thought that such a declaration is timely, especially in this time of economic and general humanitarian anxiety. So without any further ado, we will have the Secretary General and party leader do the honors, and we will ask the party leadership that is present here to give each media house one seedling for them to take care of in a spirit of partnership, in a spirit of Gambianness. Ladies and gentlemen, the party leader will now sign the Founders Day Declaration 2020. Party leader is going to use a yellow pen, huh? Like I said, we have this idea all of these original signatures on the declaration, we have the idea to honor the legacy and the work of the first president of the Gambia, Kerr. At the appropriate time, the party leadership will pay a courtesy visit to Legislator Jawara and approve this declaration. Like we have in the last paragraph of the declaration, this is really a tribute to the work and the legacy of the first president of the Gambia, and also the father of the nation. So on this day, we want to urge all Gambians to join us in our campaign to have a solemn declaration either in the hall of the National Assembly or in the cabinet, adopting Alhaji Kerr officially as the father of the nation, so that whenever we refer to him, we add that title to his name. We need to live his legacy. We should understand that he is our greatest statesman. He is the one who helped shape Gambia and give it its character. So he is really beyond party politics now. And we are extending again our condolences to his family and to the entire nation for all he has done for our country. So these original signatures will be optioned among our party faithfuls and well-wishers so that we can have some seed money to start the project proper. The project is going to be for 3 years. We have already started talking to people in the seedling and sapling business, and they are all very excited. I even got an invitation this morning that there is an EU project in Banjul trying to plant coconut trees there. We have a few coconut trees. Maybe they will be symbolically planted around the bureau here in Manjai. The mayor of KMC, the mayor of Banjul could not attend because we wanted this to be socially distanced event. The majority of the executive committee also were advised not to attend to ensure that we don't have a large crowd. UDP is famous for the crowd that it always pulls up. So I thank you very much, the media, for your partnership over the years and for always coming to our attention, for always coming to our events. We are very grateful that VRTS are here as a national broadcaster to build this and share it with the nation. After the signature of Lawyer Davo, we will entertain a few questions from the media, and symbolically he will plant these coconut trees with the executive members who are here, just for a photo opportunity, really, so that we can all disperse. I think Lawyer Davo has completed the assigned task. He's always very diligent. The press is telling me to come to their mic. Yes, I believe Lawyer Davo has completed his task. Whatever UDP assigned him, he does it excellently well. So now we will have a few questions from the media, and thereafter we will have a ceremonial planting of some of these seedlings here, and we will close by presenting seedlings to the media houses that are present here, so that they can, at their offices, at their place of work, they can keep it there. Obviously, as we progress with the project, all the national institutions will be presented with seedlings to express our goodwill and best wishes for their institutions, as well as for the nation at large, especially during this time of COVID-19. Your Excellency, please, you have the floor. Please identify your media house, and then you can ask your question.
It doesn't seem there's any question.
Yes, sir.
Senegalese, of course, authorities were here. I would say that this was about how to combat COVID-19. We work with the government of Zambia. As a political party, we do see this as something to do. Now, the second question is,
sorry, what was the question?
Senegalese
no. Yes, as a political leader.
Whether you see that as a fruitful activity?
Yes, so we have anyone, today is your 24th birthday of the party. Do you have anyone in the party who was in the United Democratic Party, and you feel like the person have worked a lot for the party, and he is no more with the party? Do you have anyone to come and join the party among the direct members of this party?
Sorry, I don't understand the last question. I don't understand the last question.
Can you phrase your question again? You want him to call specific
yes.
individuals?
Do you have anyone that you want to call to come back to the party, United Democratic Party, among the people who are there from the left already? Today is by the party. Maybe you have other people who work for the party and they are no more with the party. What are you going to tell them? Do you have anyone to call to come back to the party and join again? That's the question.
Well, let me start with your first question. The Senegalese medical team that's come to the Gambia. I don't think any Gambian who is concerned with the fight against COVID should really raise any objection about that. After all, we want expertise from every part of the world, including our own people, to help contain this deadly virus. This is not a question of politics. This is a matter of national interest. Whatever will protect this country against the spread of this pandemic, I mean, we should do it. It does not matter where the expertise comes from. It can come from Senegal, it can come from Cuba, it can come from the United States of America. The important is the mission that they want to accomplish. And I think we should really welcome them. Yeah, the second question, whether I want anybody who has left the United Democratic Party to come back. Well, of course, I mean, we are campaigning every day. We are on, vigorous recruitment drive. So anyone who has left the United Democratic Party should come back. We ask them to come back. We are not going to single out any individual and say, look, Al-Mahmet, I'll come back. We say anyone. In fact, even those who have never been part of the United Democratic Party, we are asking them to come and join the United Democratic Party.
My name is Sonko from TV. Honorable, my question would be, you made mention of how miserable the government of the Gambia, the tactics they use to fight COVID-19. If the UDP government is in place, what difference will you do?
If you have a UDP government in place, what difference?
If the UDP government will do, if it is in place, what tactic will you use that is better than the current one the current government is using?
Well, in the first place, we would not have allowed this situation to reach the level that it has reached. After all, this disease, we all had information when it broke out in China. That was the time we should start putting our acts together and prepare that since this pandemic, the virus has no borders. It has no borders and it does not secure visas from anybody to enter any particular country. We will do the necessary things so that by the time that this pandemic reaches the Gambia, we would have been fully prepared. Would have been fully prepared with our treatment centers in every part of the country, in all the regions. Our testing centers in every region in this country. We would have made all the necessary arrangements to get all the test kits. And in the event that it doesn't break out, those treatment centers that we have designated, we could use them for some other purposes. That is what we would have done. We would not have waited until we are in the midst of the pandemic and then start running helter and skelter to see what we can do. This is what we would have done differently. And certainly, the resources that we mobilize, we will certainly use it judiciously on the advice of our professionals. I think it is quite shameful when the minister on the floor of the National Assembly, and any minister who stands on the floor of the National Assembly and makes a statement, that statement is not just meant for the members of the National Assembly, it's for the entire nation. And if the Minister of Health stands in the National Assembly addressing our elected representatives, addressing the people of the Gambia, and giving out his dissatisfaction with the management of the funds, what he considered as some dubious activities, nothing, still now, we have nothing. And what we hear is other ministers saying, well, these are allegations, and that it has to be audited. If I was president, when the Minister of Health made that statement, I think it was on a Friday, in the National Assembly, that Saturday, he would be at lunch with me. And we'd start discussing what to do. And we will invite the fraud squad to come in and start the investigation, because the minister will not go to the National Assembly and just make a statement like that without any reason. He will not mislead the Gambian people. It was not frustration, but he was really speaking the truth. I think that we would have done that to show our seriousness that, these funds are not here to be dissipated. These funds are not here to be dipped into by people who have absolutely no scruples, people who are only bent on self-enrichment. That is what we would have done.
As of more on the 24th of August 2020, the Tanzania Hospital returned to the treatment center. During your speech or your statement, you have made mention of it. Will you elaborate more on that? Is it a good idea or a bad idea to turn on what business in Park Center to COVID-19 treatment center?
You mean to change the Serakunda Health Center, convert Serakunda Hospital? But I've said it. I don't think it's a good idea. Now, you have people who go to seek medical attention at Serakunda Health Center. They are not suffering from COVID-related illnesses. You have a gynecology department there. You have all other units that deal with ordinary ailments. Where are you going to take those people to? Serakunda Health Center, does not have the capacity. The Bundu Health Center does not have the capacity. The Edward Francis Small Hospital is overstretched. So it's not a good idea at all. In fact, as I have said, if we were in government, these were the things we would have done. Try to make sure that we already have treatment centers, identified places, and development as treatment centers, rather than ad hoc. How many patients are you going to get discharged from Serakunda Health Center? And when you get them discharged there, where do you take them? That is why we suggest that tent at State House, we used to see Ajame congregate with his people there. And we also have seen there were times when President Baramba Barrow holds rallies there. That should be moved to an identified location, and within a period of 3 weeks, with seriousness, we can mount a well-equipped treatment center and leave Serakunda Hospital to operate as it is.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is I have a couple of questions that I want to you advise the young Gambian who adhere to the use of damnation. Among the things that we are dealing with is the denial of the existence of COVID-19. In that case, advices will be a little bit what other will be that being that COVID-19 my second question is...
I'm not getting I think the acoustics is too bad.
People that live in deny.
Who deny?
COVID-19 doesn't exist. It's a thing that is affected. What advice do you have for the following government? My second question is, pre-planting being part of your big berries, your 24th anniversary. Why pre-planting?
it's just a little bit out of it, but it was an argument and fire. How far the UDP food bank? The food bank.
No, it's not a UDP. I will come to that. Very well. Okay, very well. Okay. Now, your first question about following guidelines, and certainly people in denial. We do appreciate that people are in denial, and that is really what should not be. That is why we all should mount this awareness campaign and bring it to the attention of everybody that this is just not mere talk. It is a reality. People are dying from COVID-19 every day. Of course, you ought to accept the fact that this exists, because in some situations, you are denied to bury your own relative. Why? Why is that? Because the person is suspected to have died from COVID-19. Otherwise, you would have taken custody or control of your diseased relative and do the burial. I want to tell every Gambian that COVID-19, coronavirus, is existing. It is a reality. It is a killer. There is no cure for it. So we must all abide by the guidelines of the Minister of Health and WHO. Otherwise, if you do not believe it, you are exposing your family to untold danger, because one person affected can spread it throughout the family. And if you've got 4 or 5 persons in the family dying within space of 4 or 5 days, that will be a matter of fragrance. And I don't think we should wait for that to happen before we accept the fact that COVID-19 exists in this country. And your second question was the planting of the tree. Well, you see, for several years, this country has suffered from the negative impact of desertification. And this is due largely to the irresponsible felling of trees throughout. I don't want to be discriminatory, but look, you go to Badibu, you see a whole stretch, more than a mile, and you just see few trees. When in the 60s, you don't want to be found by Maghrib time on the road in any place, because we have lions, hyenas, and other dangerous and ferocious animals, and because we had the forest. But we have irresponsibly managed this forest cover to the extent that it's causing desertification, and the desert is gradually drawing into the Gambia. And we all have a responsibility to ourselves and to posterity to arrest the deforestation. That is why we are embarking on this tree planting. We've called it Neto, planted Neto. After all, it's just not the Neto that we want planted. We want the Keynote, we want the Jalo, we want the Sito. We want all these trees to be planted so that we can regain our lost forest cover. And hopefully, when we gain our lost forest cover, we will also be able to gain our animals that have gone away because their natural habitat has been so badly destroyed that they cannot find a place for shelter. And your last question is, there is no UDP food bank. There is Hussein Dabo's initiative of a food bank. Mr. Sane is a member of the committee, and we believe that Thursday next week or Thursday this week, the beneficiary councils will be asked to come and collect their allocations. We already distributed to Kuntauru Area Council and there's going to be some additional bags of rice distributed to allocated to Kunta Area Council. So it's not a UDP initiative, it is a Wisenudabo initiative, and I hope that people will understand it that way.
Good morning, good afternoon. I'm there are two difficult decisions that we took. One, for me, was when we were selected to become political party. It was a decision that was difficult for me. And the second one was the day on Thursday. And it was you who always calling people not to go back for demonstration. These two decisions, which one was difficult for you to do? And what do you think about it? Are you a Democrat? And what is democracy? Did you be Democrat? Or what do you achieve from democracy?
The acoustic is so bad in our side.
You said that you made two significant decisions
Yes.
in your political career.
Yes.
One is to accept to lead the UDP, and the other one is to go out to demonstrate and lead after the killing of Super Sunday. Which of these is more difficult for you? Secondly, you believe in democracy, but nobody eats in democracy. Nobody eats democracy. So what
Nobody's democratic, is it?
Yeah, nobody eats democracy.
No, I said, he believes in democracy.
I think for the two decisions that I made, what really agitated my mind in doing so is service to my country. I felt that the decision I was taking in 1996 was for the good of my country and for the restoration of democracy. And I also felt that the decision to go out to demonstrate for the arrest and then murder of Solo Sandeng was really for ensuring that the rule of law prevails in this country. So, and that none of the decisions was difficult for me because I was convinced that they were the right thing to do. The decision would have been difficult if I had something non-altruistic. But in my view, I think I was being altruistic, I was being concerned for my country, and that all those occasions, my country was very badly affected. What happened to Solo, he died. But what happened to Lammarong, to Falam, to Modungom, to Fatou Kamara, to Fatmata Jawara, to Nogoy, we are so horrendous that anyone in his right mind, anyone who cared for the rule of law in this country, you would protest. And with that, I thought that this was the best way to protest it.
Well, Mr. Dabo,
Democracy.
he asks, are you a Democrat? Because we feel you are Democrats. And over the time, what has you achieved in this democracy for your party?
Well, I think we have, over the years, gained respect of the Gambian people and gained respect of the international community. There has always been occasions when, if we were irresponsible, if we did not believe in democracy precepts, we would have thrown this country into flames. We would have really, we would have really caused, a lot of problems in this country, which would, in my view, be anti-democratic, because we have never lost, the United Democratic Party has never lost faith in the ballot box. We have always believed in the ballot box, and we always believe that through the ballot box, we can effect a change. We could have chosen the other way, but we didn't think that that would be for the good of the country. And I think this helped us to earn the respect of all right-thinking people. There are others, of course, who I know are not right-thinking people. They will say that is trash. But this is what we believe, and we will continue to believe in that way, because we believe that it is only through pursuing your cause by democratic means that you'll be able to have a stable and sustainable society.
Well, Mr. Dabo.
Are there any questions from that area? If you have asked a question.
Yes, I have to play.
No, I know, yes. But are there other questions there?
Maybe
it doesn't seem like it. Please go ahead.
Well, Mr. Dabo, we have instance so much success in the last local government and parliamentary election. Come 2021, you believe UDP can be the same success?
Well, Mr. I want to tell you one thing, and I want you to take this to the bank. The presidential election that is coming in 2021, UDP is the winner. Take that to the bank. Thank you. And also, the legislative and the local government elections that will take place, UDP will do better than it did in the past legislative and local government elections. Please, gentlemen, it's not usual of me to make such statements, but I know what the political terrain looks like. And whatever changes takes place in the political terrain is not going to affect this prediction that I've told you. Notwithstanding the fact that you have other political parties coming up, but UDP is growing by the day, and is growing with men of influence, and is growing with persons of high intellectual capacity. And what do you need in politics for a success party? Men of influence and women of influence, with people with brain in the background doing the work. And we have those things.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are very grateful, but I think we will bring the Q&A session to a close. The next item on the agenda would be for the party leadership present here to present to the media houses and media representatives here seedlings of the motto that we have, and we will also have a formal ceremony outside with the party leadership, the national president, the secretary general, and his deputy, to plant 3 coconuts around the KMC bureau. This is not our national bureau, as you will understand, but given the COVID situation and all the things that are going on, once the project starts, you will be in no doubt how the implementation is going to go. So now I have the singular pleasure and honor to invite the deputy party leader, Auntie Seda, to present this to GRTS, their representative, a seedling, a network seedling of some height. Where is the GRTS representative? This is for the campus. This is a gesture of goodwill from the United Democratic Party to the road institution. The next seedling will be presented by His Excellency Alaji Kemeseng Jamme to iAfrica TV or their representative. iAfrica TV. Thank you very much. The last seedling will be presented by the National Acting President, Antiyam Yabo. This will be presented to Paradise TV.
No handshake. No handshake.
No handshake. Just flower pot. Huh? Please, no handshake. And the other one will be presented by our Finance Minister, Alaji Ahmadu Sane, to Star FM or their representative present here.
That's Kerr, don't mind Kerr Fatou, you know.
The next seedling will be presented by Auntie Mary to Kerr Fatou. Kerr Fatou, representative from Kerr Fatou.
Fatou Network.
The next seedling will be presented to Fatou Network and Majority Leader Honorable Kebake Barrow will do the honors. Who is representing Fatou Network here? There is a guy from Walikunda there. I think we should. He is going around impersonating a soldier and all kinds of things. Come on, Wale. Huh?
Member Kerr, yeah.
The representative of Digital FM Home Media, Member Kerr, is Member Kerr represented by anybody here today? Doesn't look like it. In his stead, Kamaraba Ko, a Wato Sita, will be presented by the campaign manager for UDP, Honorable Fakema Kuri.
UDP TV and media. Yes, they have their
UDP TV and Media and the Diaspora Network
Bantaba.
And UDP Bantaba in recognition of their immense contribution to the development of the party. We are presenting this in their name. And I will do the honors. Almami Fanning will do the Well, thank you very much. The other event is really for the party leader and the national president and the deputy party leader to symbolically plant this coconut just outside, right outside there. I hope everybody from the media has gotten on the door. We have a few more. We don't know.
Yeah, so ala barka baake mbari also mira saying witness la wolem of course la tree planting ti kala kilo blandi of course bile United Democratic Party e sanji monde nani soro so ela tree planting kana wole witness chenten al nyaabe ni jiro la mi alonko of course e wole londi tenteng so United Democratic Party Mr. Sawali sorry boy nimba
yeah abidi
kortande
tanawatan
we molwe jinin kaka dum kamen soldo e ko Sawali le be ma bore ne ko nya
no mbe ko ma on the background cause ning party leader be damen ka la fi pour ngata background auto ka ma ko role ke logistics you know but I'm fully around fully present
yo muna fula nyin nyimbe ngon
well ben kallanke wolen ben kumma ba ala tentu bengo anin kam wol tentu ke jayi men yo nyim party o ta ya tutu banko kono men ketana founders solti led by Banko Beya Lonko Memu President in waiting to His Excellency the Honorable Lawyer Usainu Dabo. Katenturo follow ala Nomalon Cole Ajiyam Seka Deputy Party Leader Ajiyam Mundau Yabo and na fallen heroes Femi Peters Nyolu Lang Marong Nyol Solo Sandeng Solo Kuruma Alamani man Kafarkale adu menu ben konewe balu ring but yela balu be ke patiole Honorable Kemesen Jame Fele Ngaja Binakang anala UDP Moscow Amadou Sane Bijang Ajiyam Mundau Yabo na President Adingal told media me alonko altarta patio fe under difficult circumstances al lota patio ke la kuma kongol bondi aning alfa men alonko ka duwa na patio especially na alfa kafo ka wol tentu ke jayi bi mu wolungalti
ide amra gambianol nyanta mune sutela United Democrat la ela party leader ila nyaton ko nyanta mune sutela la kuma kongol
wala ala diamo men ke binal ya korosi famata nyin diamo si fa kelale atandi le ko president operator pour kala president yata adu mota stop la pour ka president yata ayo diamo le kebi atandi gambia mul la ko jiko bi jelen kana jikila tay UDP be bondi la nyum kolon kono me yalon ko nyim mansa kunda me yalon ko maral jawe be wala wolen dundi o kolon kono parti atandi ka dal fintindi la nyum kolon kono gambia yi wayata nyato
thank you very much so nga planting nyeng jibe kol be tala nyari Mr. Sawali ni la diamo be tentenare so al nyabe min na jan right now party leader nyimbe lorin damen tenten these tree planting of course deputy party leader fanam bijele min kera ajiyam sekati ate fanam be lorin jele kara fo ela karfa enimbar kortande
aketadi
ya ibe mune fono la mole nyimbe ngoto
mba fala mole rek comme ka mol hakilo blande bayri ñene mon sanji mon nane anniversary UDP combien UDP lo ñameng niaji be ala fomo kanalo bikan momo sanji tanne nane si imari kamal tale mbe samplo talal tol si falle la kabrabe lola anente fanan a intra dindi yala wotaymo niaji be mbe sanji moang anen feng barbi alhamdulillah rabbil alamin aketambulu kawandoti aketambulu karam fananti politiko la karola ngalon ko mole miyan ko a wakilta mole miyan ko a struggle in the sense ko ay bata ko jamaleta kaje ko Gambia liberate from the tyranny UDP lo okay and Ousainou Darboe lo okay andu niyaji be fanante UDP a introdundi yalla ndunta ko 1996 fo hanbi mbakono ngamu jama balje 1996 he participated UDP kono after the election few years or months after the election will not bang andu ngal ko dia prominent politician ngal mo le milan ko UDP kanu wol fele bi alhamdulillah rabbil alamin e mantra balu kono wo mul siata baba bakele tulbe duale re fo alama ala si ne man kafarke dolbe je alhamdulillah ala sosima ala fo bi tol nyongol mba witness kan woto kule mi yalan ko UDP mu liberationary party leti mba fo la funding kelie yena join ñim patiyele national party ñim patiyele fana jarta ka bulanuma bari motanta ñim patiyete ñim patiye fomtare patiye saba fonan wala jointe ñim patiyelo woto motanta ñim patiyeto nte kija kabo mola mi anko atamu patiyete na patiye fom atelta ka patiyete asi momuta e bay asi momuta ay bondi asi tafana wokake ko atelta mu patiye ñinde woto mbafla gameno ko bebula UDP noma UDP lem patiyete mem momata manke minti UDP lem patiyete millota sacrifice ta wakilita because wakilo lem politikoti yen tolle konkondi yem baleb do ko wala yem bute yem fa kaje ko na participation in national political nyon kon wala dira na nga wobe sotoje anu nata wakilo kan kaje ko nga Gambia liberate woto alhamdulillah rabbil alamin fobi ñol sita woto na kontan ko le fana mat mbaltol fana tentula journalistol mbaje la ko ntolna tolle partner in development because ali ko le ko min soto ngol soto ntolle ka diamunum bake bor wato journalistol fana bika hanye femmo sabu fo wato masakunda min be kering woto bi be minke kan mba gaidel jealously mbadi la momo ngaje nin journalist le wata ko min sotono ya jame kan ngaje ka lefto ko le akole la journalist sol fana kan koteke ani civil fonkol right movement gal fana ani opposition woton tolto sonna la koteke woton ba fala ko momo nata Gambia janka ke president wote ntol UDP beji be la anu 2021 fana ngaje ko UDP ma sekunda abarga wala of course am karfalem of course United Democratic Party la deputy campaign manager ti Karfa Sonko ngamira United Democratic Party la party of course mo jamali alonne anen Gambia jam mo jamali alonne jumalem karfati so atele be diamo kan no nyama of course ali ajele am 3 planting lebe kering wolem ka yirol tutu baring ada bela agenda kono no bi pour ka je ko si yirol fanan tutu natra statement o bota ela secretary general in party leader min kira loya Ousainou Darboe so be wole ke kan tenting albaje kanne loya Ousainou Darboe bijele kata fo ati la deputy party leader de min kira ajiyam sekati ate fanambe ibe bijele albaje kanne am wole be kering tenting right now al nyaabe camera la mi alon ko of course ibe min bondi kan right now tenting so wole be kering jang so akamtale ko yere following yo tutule fa pareta fulan jango nyingi bele tuto kan andung e ba tuto kan dame ngolem United Democratic Party ila bureau mi alon ka felenting manjay momoy jelong of course e wolto science tenting so alnyabe wala tenting e be kenyol ta kan progaje ko yiro nyinta ka tutu andung alfalu fango mi alon ko e United Democratic Party dabulata nyin konole e proga tuturoke of course ila of course tuturoke ni yiro la mi alon ko baake kan alfa fango dabulata jele United Democratic Party la nyaton kol fang al nyaabe kan ne camera to mi alon ko abe bonde kan nyin temben itol fango dabe nyin
jàmm rek alhamdulilah.
mooy noonu la wax ñu sa tur.
man maa ngi tudd Ousainou Mboup man maa nekk di KMC administrative secretary nekk fii si Manjai bureau di liggéeyal parti bi.
lan nga mën a wax si bés bi tey.
bés bi xanaa kontaan rek bu baax a baax a baax ndax bépp doomi Gambia tey koo xam ne ni yaa ngi si suufi Gambia te xam ne tey parti baa ngay celebrate 24 years di nga kontaan di nga bég. ndax soo gisee loolu mooy UDP dafa nekk parti bi nga xam ne dafa yaaga taxawa réew mi yaaga xeex pour réew mi am jàmm te soo seetloo fi mu nekk nii parti bi dafa gën a màgg gën a yaatu looloo tax ñun ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk ci parti bi dañoo kontaan bu baax a baax a baax si bés bi tey.
lan nga ñu mën a wax Gambian si lan lañ war a seetlu si wax boo xam ne seen parti leader bi wax na ko tey.
wax ji nga xam ne kàddu yi gaaral tey nekk na kàddu yoo xam ne ñun doomi parti bi doomi Gambia dañ ci kontaan torop di kontaan si taxawaayam moom si boppam ndax soo seetloo 24 years du 24 days te ñëpp seede nañ UDP xeex bi nga xam ne moom lañ fi xeex lu nekk lañ ci daj te lépp garal na ko ci biir kàddu yooyu wane taxawaay bi nga xam ne moom la UDP taxaw ak lépp liñ daj rek taxut ñu dellu gannaaw taxut ñu xaddi lépp ñu ngi puus ba tey ji loolu nekk na loo xam ne kàddu yu rafet la kàddu yoo xam ne ñun doomi parti bi kontaan nañ ci torop te ñu ngi jànga si taxawaayam ñun si suñ boppa te tam di ko ñaanal fan wu gudda ak wérgu yaram di ñaan bu baax a baax ñu fekkee 2021 su boobaa government bi nga xam ne moom la UDP pare pour taxawal fii ci suufi Gambia ñu mun koo witness bépp doomi Gambia witness ko mun a gis ne dëgg UDP liñ doon xeex démba tey ji wane nañ ko te dinañ ko def incha allah te loolu kàddu yooyu garal na ko wane na ko ci li nga xam ne loolu la wax fii tey.
jërëjëf Mr. Mbow.
jërëjëf.
Thank you very much. Guys, seen student wing bi nag fa ma am ak gars yi waxtaan mooy ma wayaloo bu la jee folo enemba
boy enemba
kulle
mbijawo
mbe mona fala mole nyimbe ngoto bi itebe of course am UDP la student wing bari to fo mole fo
well antelang lamin sawoti secretary general UDP students wing bi ko mobe yalo nyame bilang UDP la 24th anniversary ti nada nam pour ka UDP ka kidimande bari mbela fala pour mobe yalo ko UDP kidimando manka kuute mi yalo ko ba fala ko sango kono kilinna UDP kidimando nyanta ka luwol na bawo ni parti jibe kabri 1996 kana fo 2020 e bajala ko patio nyin atambita ni sila jamalla ni ajibe in the former regime UDP la mulle fata UDP la mulle soronta coalition no niaje ka winta alata ko la UDP la so wakamala bi mbafala gambiano be mbe mbulo ka funyo kan ngan intensity nga tambi UDP ko bawo UDP la patio de mi yalan ko adal say banko bo bi mol yaajale min kata jang is very symbolic niaje bi nada nam pour ka yirol tutu ibajala ko Gambia bi mfanam be sofa come from climate change because yirol min bijam min yalan ko nyanta kam mako na bolwol kono wo yirol ni moliye boyle ye ke ko di nyini rangoti ye ke ko woldol so niaje bi nga nyini ke this are symbolic pour ka tandi banko mo la nyim man ka politique amman ka campaign tool nka inkele pour ka tandi mol la ko momo ye responsibility la soto pour que Gambia banko ka sambo nyaato andu bimbe wala ke ka
finally be mona fala mole statement auto mol si mune souteno Gambia nol le aussi on dabula kuma ko la mil fo
well party leader ala statement o bi nsafo ko kabirinte along nying is the most powerful statement I mean di ala statement o niaji be is diverse I label ma I COVID-19 male I funding ke empower pour ye nyatan kolti I ofana male banko nyata tala nyama mala democracy male so mbemi fala banko dingole particularly funding kel bawonte ngala fle ni lota platform oto nimbe diam la nga funding kel address wolan ko parti leader la statement on be la mu yal ni hakilola nga tamandi nyala mi yalla ko asaka banko be na fat
abarka of course be tentenale ngata nga jibe ko kolu bengota ka labang well because call mam bam follow so be tentenale nga jibe call be laban na nyaadi le jang definitely.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Lastly, I want to say on behalf of the Secretary General and Party Leader and the entire membership of the United Democratic Party, thank you to all of you for gracing this historic occasion. I remember we started with prayer and thanksgiving to all those who have been before us. And I'm still waiting for our young members to come in. Bine, if you can get Kemo and Fulus to please come in and we wrap this thing up. Because in his statement, the party leader has paid special tribute to the young people. And really, sometimes this is what gets some of us, really out of sorts. We want to organize things formally and properly. The party leader has been here since 11 o'clock. The event is not over yet. We need to conclude it, and we can do the press talk as soon as possible. You doing? Akemo, I told Fanang, The event is not over. Let's close the event, and then we can talk to the press as much as we like. Thank you very much again for coming. And on behalf of the Secretary General and the entire membership of the United Democratic Party, we are very grateful to the media for their presence here today. And we hope that this gesture of goodwill of sharing the Nito seedlings with you will continue to cement our relationship. And finally, we will build the Gambia that we deserve, the Gambia that we want. Lastly, I will call on Mr. Fulus Drame to lead us in singing the national anthem to close the proceedings for today. I hope Fulus knows all the words. Please, can you all rise for the national anthem?
One, two, three.
For the Gambia, our homeland, we strive and walk and pray that all may live in unity, freedom and peace each day. Let justice guide our actions towards the common good, and join our diverse people to prove man's brotherhood. We pledge our firm allegiance, our promise we renew. Keep us, great God of nations, to the Gambia ever true. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Long live UDP! Long live Alhaji Hussein Udabo! Long live Auntie Yamseka! Long live Keme Sengjame! Long live Amadou Sane! Long live Aji Yamunda Ujeyabo! Happy 24th, all UDP militants and members. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. The statement of the party leader is available.
So thank you very much, Mba Katala Purka Joko Neng Honorable lawyer Usainu Dabo na short interview sora in Mandinka pour moli along kuma ka mi along ko ay walle fonong of course angale kan ranga jibe fo definitely Mba soro no le honorable yeah so Mba Katala dong ablo mutarin demande na pare Mba Katala So of course ning anti kacha oh ni anti kacha ngana honorable ya so anti na ya ne ka deputy party leader United Democratic Party tay lan nga ñu mëna wax ci bes bi
de besu magala parce que bes bi daf ñu wone depuis 1996 up to date 24 years lolu reuy la di nga gis na next year moy 25 ñu mëna célébrer sun silver jubilee lu rëy la ci démocratie rule of law
li lan la free ci UDP ngeen am 24 years
li ñu free ci UDP dafa wax ne UDP dañ am determination strong nañ te unite nañ ku mën a foojax depuis 1996 ba 2020 loolu
déglu nga tey seen parti leader bi la Usainu Dabo ci statement am bu mu wax Gambia ni nga foone lan lañ war a jël ci statement bii ni
li ñu war a jël ci statement bi mooy pour gën a establish démocratie ñu gën a bàyyi wante xel parce que it's one Gambia one people one nation We cannot be divided.
Thank you very much. So nga kada say nga jibe ning honorable Ousainou Darboe Kachala nyame. Well nga futa ya. Honorable Inimba.
Ngejo.
Kortan.
Kaira don.
Bi lungo de be mona fala mole mi alon ko mandika kan la moy la lem nyin lungo to bi bila ale sanji mo nin nani soro.
Zafo bi la mo UDP la mawludo ti. Bila UDP wuluta. August karo tel muwani saba sanji muwani nani koma. Lumbalo. UDP nak aboko le ko nilama feng. Yalo nilama ekani ku yakol soto. Sasal kake ekani dia kol soto. Adu ya hamol ka hamol fanal soto. And yin sanji muwani nano kono abele kata UDP la ni ku yakku balatan kan bata ku lal balantan kan bar nga kontaan ku jamal fanan soto ado nga alektum ku jamal fanan soto man sola lom fe gambian ko la lom fe gambian ko la UDP kano wala yatina nyam pati wa baluta no fombe bi tembo mento ni wote ning a pati dingul keta moko tente tanu nun sanji tang ata balula kado 1996 kata for 2006 bata ko fo fen tilimbali a fen alata UDP ngol ko UDP ngol le soronta janto ye UDP ngol le wuda indi janto ye UDP ngol le nakari la fen la janto ana pi be UDP ngol be nakar kan ni sabita me yano ka ko UDP ngol no school sambe kan me yalon ka ko anil luwa manta ni slow manta nyola bar alhamdulillah ko nga fo nyame UDP ko la ko nilama adon nilama fen ni be baluwo kono khadama din sa khadama din nilama e be baluwo kono isi haklo lo nyen kanko e be ko la ko takilale bari nak ntelu nalla UDP la dalilo la ka ko UDP be janne pour Gambia le waya kendi nyin ko le akodo aka kenya ko ne ko wiyan sanjo
Honorable iko hani saybe UDP nakari kanne example o di molla woto iko hani saybe nakari kanne nyaadi
ni sabita men nakafo ko demo UDP la support alte ye bondi do ko la nga haklo nga jël ka ko banko la dolto kiti kurul be ke kanje to manke dalilo kan fo ka ko je mario no wol be UDP le ke be ke kanne adu wallan kultime yalan ka ko akol kaleta janto konko wallom wolde mel kaleta janto bari be ke hanbe bari fan soto be kelale Gambia ba fan sot la Gambia ko be fan sot la le be man se kunda sot me yalon ka fo ata fatam fans kala mol tema ngani long be même toñati molbe do ko la nu man se kunda amanjare ka moto fo ya jamal la jamono la e sobita ko mo UDP ko do la yidim kaya amang nukung nyama sakunda men fana be sirem be den danga man sakunda men sende konko men be banko kanko nga bay bi ama sakunda kilin fanan kamol bayle dalila kante fo ila UDP kayaka bari ko nga fo nyame nyel mo buya buyan sanjolete nyame abetale ni abetelale nyame and banko ba fan sotla banko dinglu ibe sa wakile la banko to molte sa wakila banko dinglu to obe sot la jantole ado UDP la bonat la janto
Honorable, for I feel like ko moye jamfale this year United Democratic Party kono. For any jamfa feel like akete la.
Yalo ni ko jamfa atfanta mo mari ya nyame. Yalo tanga politiko ya nyame wala mo man la fenna jeto bar man fem fana mbula jeto wala ateni nin ko ku keta abukante terrain na nyimma keta isi kontani na keta mol ka ko be jangade abukam batandi ba nga nyile ka bokko tama molu tama isi jalman wala alhala watol sotota nyim banko kan ni mol diamuta lolu tenata damman nin ala damman na office auto basan san chambers akonya ko nyim poldi ko nyi kanala mola de akon hanin tembe diamu keten e kanalanna
jwale ho baro
hanin tato fala amang na man ka president baroti akonya ko hanin tembe ka diamu ete e kanalanna wa kamem fommo wato nimbenda kafo kana kafo jumalo musa dabote akumo membe fonna sain akakumol melfo ngaje kafo ko abe yamar kana kafo ko haninte me yalo kafo ko bijato e kanalanna so nana ta political really kubu kante terenjeto ko kula bu kante terenjeto wala ya kendi mandi kol kamem fo man hard complaint soto yalo ninko ko kata ji sola wa ke batale barno edo nkasi no len kadomoroke
ko buge tereng
wono
honorable
kandew
ila statement o kono yafo akamtale ko COVID-19 la ko maje bakele coronavirus wala ko so it's like Serekunda General Hospital yo fanana ko male it's like mantra contending lobitano nyim pour ka falin ka treatment center
mel kata jarolo nyini jeto ibol sambala min to pour jarolo pesentol mel kat admit la ibe sambala min to kar memu to nyaade lobitano belbe faring in patients la out patients nyolo ni lotona buka kumte kop no la so nyanta men kala really wolom nyenti ngamen fo nga kukata njube dukara nga Serekunda men hospital dukara nga tujeto nga kukata njube kar lokun sabo kono natra nga sobe yake lokun sabo kono isi treatment center sa lono de lato kar kanol bijandole isi lono le Ghana treatment center lo within 6 weeks and adu la professional adu from private sources masakunda opportunity kalandi and so forth and you fonko ya lo mfanal sake no de and lafta ngole ke nkana tulung na jata kende yala ado nyin covid nyin ma for de avankala bare abe mol saya be sunkala mena mo nangamo mena abe warakamba kala de ya donc nyanda dal masakunda ye courte dungala
finally be mune fala United Democratic Party la support ale bilem alla anniversary de finally be mune fala
well be men fala na supporters le wolon kavoko bi ma kadal men kala nga alfal sindi yal qur'ano karang ye dua patio nyiye pour ala sa tankandi ye dua nimmelbe kol kono nung bi mantra baluri kadweye ndalta koleke bota ke no la bi bar nimbe salita insi duale na patio nyiye insi dua pati dingli insi dua bankoye nimmel bato no bi mantra baluri insi duwe kunun nom ngakilim bade yalon ka ko nade ni parti o commence nyola alaji lan janke jayte nade UDP commence nyola par kunun no ngaba de kuno wolu ci doa wolié far janna kallanke ala sadila adunga duan fanang banko nya fala si banko tankande ka fo UDP ko le ko ibe mento kunun ye tarajeto to nyaabe wol nyene to wuyu aya men be ka ke karakotan la wallahi ya ko ci pampang lonne
ci pampang ngawre wo filin na jele ngoy be wo filin na
yo ci pampang el fonko yesu la ka pof namra suwal ka fa pofotan
wa ngalon
yo wo wala be nyaade no abe warlente ba foño kense na ba kono
ko parti dol wala nyaaw
nta ko ni pelbe ka ko mu ci pampante do kare ye fata wala ko ma
what word for 2021 one word for 2020
2021 one word killing wakole atade barbiton savo ko 2021 mu success lati
abarka
thank you abarka
ke wala of course am honorable lawyer Ousainou Dabati yes so ala baraka bake thank you very much mbadi ngon mo be Kerr Fatou jube kanyon tembenna live milbe diaspora milbe Gambia banko kanjang milga Kerr Fatou no ma wati nga nyinde sodale bi ngal tendu kali jay bake United Democratic Party bile sanji monni nani bile a soto of course be wole kidimandi kanon bi bengla mi alonko akara social distancing bengolti bengla mi alonko akam tele ko guidelines sol aning lual mi alonko yolandi yabe marale barakam tele ko sirengole min ye space min ke janga warta bake yewobe kantale of course ila nyeng of course nyim bengoto mi yalon ko yakka jang ale kuma kawlo moyle mi yalon ko lebota honorable ya Ousainou Dawa bulu ale kuma kawlo moyle mi yalon ko lebota of course ajiyam seka bulu ila executive jawal manna because ibe siladi nying covid-19 kurango mi yalon ko lebe kering Gambia banko kan jang woto ali amoyle la party leader memfo United Democratic Party la ko ngal tentu kali jey baki mo be Kerr Fatou jube kanno alnal badi malem te buba gajigo adena cameraman aden technician of course am Mustafa Kinte ngal tentu kal jebake ala barka
Love like fire. Wow. Love like fire. Xam ngeen rek affaire bi xam ngeen fan la skincare la 2020 lañ wax de waaw fii nag mooy Kerr fan Kerr zero tache perfect skincare saa su ne rek niñ ko dee defee rek loo lañ soxlaati rek maanaam bu ngeen am problème ci seen skin ngeen xam ngeen fan la fii ngeen di ñëw suma xarit yeeg am di jàmm yi nga xam ne taas daf lañ sonaloon xam nga doon xeesal ba laka xum éneew ma lañ ko nag waaye just in case comme ni ko gars yi di waxee rek en cas just in case loolu xew xam ngeen fi ngeen di ñëw skincare plus si yu baax rek la ñoo dox nag ay baax rek fu ne la ñoo dem ci réew mi di lañ indi rek nag products yu baax du Paris du Italie du USA du fi mu nekk nii sax boole nañ ci nag Sweden fu nekk lañ leen a indilee products bu dee tamit nag da nga ñuul rek ñu lay jamaa natural beauty that melanin dripping we do have stuff for you as well emuñ si skincare products rek ñu ngi ci cuub yi tamit fu ne la ñoo jaar in fact sax last commercial bi ñu defoon waxuñ leen woon ne dañoo dox ci ay kawar 9A grade rek nag waaw we do have bundles as well hair si lu ne la ñoo dox ñun ñu ngi ci rafetal jigéen rek luy taaral jigéen rek waaw boo leen di tukki tamit bëggoon rek classic suitcase ñu dañoo dox ci ay Samsonite duñ dee indi any brand of suitcases though other than Samsonite comme li ma dee wax rek boo eggee airport dëri Samsonite dafa am nuñ laa xoolee waaw ngeen lan nag waaw skin ci moom la ñu gën a xamee nag skin care products ci moom la ñu gën a xamee ñu ngi dox tamit bentey tamit si ay dàlla man waaye man nag skin care mooy suma specialty xam nga rek jigéen bu sa xar kanam réglé loo def mu jag am nañ Patricia Reiner Kiwi Eye the whole range Lighten Up Gold Tomatine I mean the list can just go on and on and on and on lépp loo xam ne rek luy taaral jigéen la ci yooyu rek la ñoo dox skin care plus nag emuñ si Gambia rek ñu nga United States ñu ngi Gambia fii ba pare bu dee yaa ngi anywhere in Europe mun nañ la ko mail within 3 days rek ñetti fan rek nga jot say diw emuñ si loolu rek dañ laa consult tamit balaa ñu laa jaay diw dinañ def a free consultation pour wax la rek exactly li nga xam ne moo méngoo ak sa kanam dinañ leen wax tamit ne rek am nañ perfumes you know fragrances men's shirts accessories we do dresses as well we do blouses I mean we do shoes name it we do them Skincare Plus 2020 is our year of perfection zero task fi mu nekk nii réew mi fii kenn waratu fi task kenn waratu fi am problème kanam kenn waratu fi am problème yu picca boo ko amee dafa fekk ne rek ñëwuloo ci place bi fii. Love like fire. Bring my love like fire.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm in London that can help you with all aspects of your legal work. If you are looking at immigrating to the United Kingdom, Stewart & Co. can help you to set up business, buy houses in the UK, and will deal with all your legal works from start to finish.
For all your general immigration work, we can help you with that as well. If you're applying for any form of visa, whether student visas, settlement visas, marriage visas, or a child wanting to come to the United Kingdom to settle with the family, we can help you to achieve your goals.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm specializing in conveyancing, immigration, litigation, family law, personal injury, licensing, no win, no fee. Contact us today at www.sk-solicitors.com.
No, ini bara. Alright, okay. Welcome. Basically, lot of lala me along is cool, man. That I can really relax. What the madam? Yeah. What the madam? Yeah. Let them do something. That's right. Grand Villa. Grand Villa. That's fine. Slowly. Yes. No. Yeah, actually, a lot of people are basically me alone because relaxed. So it's okay to I can use Nina Fanny say what? Nidia, Nena Grand Villa is the best guest house in the Gambia.
Beji andika Grand Villa Guest House. Na labungul bebe senyaring adu na bungul bebe nyarandiring coming ibela fila ila suwe taranyame. Until Grand Villa na kiliano la lafino wale mukangotin telkang. Na ye sabati Grand Villa yela kodo na fa kalamuta.
Oh man, this is like a paradise. I know. I so much love this place. Yeah, thank you. Trust me, I love this place. You can move someone and you're watching what? Yeah. And you want to Gambia. Grand Villa.
I tell you. I love this place. Okay. I love this place, man. Oh yeah. Ni leftan na kuo keso sotola. Futama Oljuntum Paradise Estate. Mbaya kumandiroke 7527218. Wale futana website auto www.grandvillaguesthouse.com. Grand Villa Guest House.
Miss V Designer Outlet is the #1 quality and affordable stop shop for all your needs. Get your evening dresses, suit and ties, office wears for both ladies and gentlemen, beach wears, sport wears, pure leather shoes for men, quality belts, bags, heels for all beautiful ladies, original perfumes, accessories, and a lot more. Find us at Kololini Road opposite Gaddafi Mosque at the Aqua Preacher Station, or call us on 295-3411 or 764-2486. Miss B Designer Outlet. Shop right, look good.